Hi there, I'm David Katzmeyer from CNET. I'm sitting next to VIZIO's 65-inch XVT423SV. This monster is the first 3D TV to ship in the United States to feature passive 3D TV technology. We'll get to that in a little bit, but first I want to note that this is the only model of its kind right now. VIZIO only makes this as a 65-inch size. A little bit later in the year there's going to be a lot of other smaller VIZIOs that use passive 3D, but for now this guy is it. So as I mentioned, it has passive 3D. It actually comes with 4 pairs of these passive 3D glasses. The difference between passive and active 3D is that the glasses are a lot cheaper and they don't have any sort of electronics inside them. So these passive glasses look a lot just like standard sunglasses, and of course they fit over a standard pair of glasses. So they're the same kind you can find in most theaters that use 3D TV technology in the US. The active glasses, on the other hand, are a lot more expensive, and you got to buy, of course, a pair for each family member so it can add up. The design of the VIZIO is relatively generic. It's got this glossy black around the edge. You look at it from the side, you can tell it's an LED-based LCD TV. It's only about 2.2 inches thin, which makes it pretty light, a good thing on a TV this big. VIZIO's apps platform on this TV offers Netflix, Amazon Video on Demand, and Vudu. The latter actually has 3D TV streaming, so you can actually rent some 3D videos. Of course, the selection right now is pretty slim. There's also a good selection of audio streaming apps, including Rhapsody, Radio Time, and Pandora. So all told, the streaming app selection on this TV is very good. There's also a few non-streaming apps, including Facebook, and a new app from Fandango that allows you to go on and choose movie screening times in your area. So we kind of like that little addition. One of the nice things about VIZIO's apps platform is it's well integrated. It even includes a TV settings app that has all the options for adjusting this set. There's not as many options as found on many other high-end TVs, and the 3D options are particularly slim, but at least it's all nicely integrated in the main menu. Around back, because of this slim TV, the input bay looks kind of squashed. It does have 5 HDMI, however, in addition to a PC input and a component video input. The analog selection is pretty sparse, but at least there's plenty of digital inputs. Another standout feature on the VIZIO is its well-equipped remote control. You can slide it open to reveal a full QWERTY keyboard that allows you to interact with apps like Facebook and Twitter a lot easier than using a virtual keyboard on your TV screen. The remote is a little bit chunky, however, and a little bit less responsive than most smartphone keyboards, so keep that in mind. We also like that the remote has Bluetooth capability, so you can operate it without having line of sight to the television. Picture quality in this VIZIO is actually a little bit disappointing in 2D mode. We noticed it had relatively light black levels. The picture uniformity wasn't that great. We blame that on the edge LED backlighting. TV also has an artifact that looks a little bit like smearing. When there's fast motion, for example, in faces, they can tend to blur a little bit more than a lot of the other LCD TVs we've seen, and that's actually a little surprising given it's a 120 Hz model. This big TV also has a relatively glossy screen, so it does catch a lot of ambient light in bright rooms. On the flip side, we did appreciate that the VIZIO had accurate color, but that really doesn't offset all the other picture quality issues we saw in 2D. One of the downsides of the VIZIO's 3D performance is that it has half the resolution of active 3D. That means that when you're looking at 3D on this set, it does appear a little bit softer than we're used to on active 3D models. There's also a few more artifacts. For example, there's some jagged edges on diagonal lines that showed up on the passive TV and not on the active models. On the flip side, the VIZIO was a little bit brighter overall than the active TVs. Of course, if you have a relatively controlled viewing environment, that's not a big deal, but if you're viewing in a bright room, the active, brighter 3D image might be a nice thing. In terms of comfort, we did appreciate the VIZIO's lighter glasses, but we didn't really see any difference in terms of headaches or that sort of thing induced by the active TV versus the passive. In general, we feel like headaches and those sorts of viewer comfort issues are more a result of the content, not the implementation of 3D, but we'll keep looking, and of course passive does offer a nice alternative to active if you're really not a fan of those expensive glasses and still want 3D. That's a quick look at the VIZIO XVT423SV, and I'm David Katzmeyer.